beginning with good news. And in the King James Version, do you remember the Christmas narrative saying, glad tidings of great joy? And that joy always contains the sideline of laughter, pleasure. But it's really worth just stopping and reflecting on what it means that the gospel is good news. Good news. It is not bad news. It is not scary news. It is good. It's something that's good to hear. It's really worth just allowing that to become a filter for the way that we present Jesus to other people. Okay, but let's begin as the first gospel. The Gospel of Mark is generally considered to be the oldest of the Gospels. And this is how Mark begins his story, the narrative about Jesus. He begins with this. It's an interesting little statement. Do you see it here in the Greek? Arche tou euangeliou Jesu Christou. The reason it's interesting is that it doesn't have a verb. So it makes you realize that this is not actually a sentence, but a headline. It's probably where we got the whole idea of the Gospels from, this one statement. And so this is how we translate it. The beginning, arche, where we get the word archaeology, of the Gospel. And there it is, euangeliou. Happy tidings of Jesu Christou, of Jesus Christ. Now, all those words have become specialized as if they've acquired capital letters. So it's difficult to know exactly how the first readers understood these words. The word gospel, for example, didn't mean a bit of the Bible. It meant wonderful message, as if you'd suddenly made a medical breakthrough and you wanted people to hear about you. If you follow this treatment, we can guarantee an end to cancer, an end to AIDS, an end to dementia. Now, that would be staggering. That would be fantastic. Right? Wouldn't it be life-changing? Wouldn't it be wonderful to know that, to receive it? And Mark intends to convey something of that breathtaking excitement. And then there's the word Christ, which has become almost an expletive. But the first readers would have had a very different take on it. And to many, it would have carried the immediate overtones of champion or deliverer, the bit on the Gladiator tagline where it says, a hero will arise, a Messiah will come. This almost interchangeable concept. The people were enslaved, oppressed, and looked forward to the day when God's chosen one would set them free. And the Jews saw Moses as a kind of liberator, and the Messiah who was come was going to be one like Moses. Mark's claim was that Jesus was that person, was that hero. Wonderful news. The champion has come. That's the key. The wonderful news is completely absorbed into the coming of a unique person. So that serves as a title to the whole narrative that's following, and it plunges us immediately into what Jesus did. So Mark is about to share with his readers this glorious, breathtaking piece of rapturous, laughter-inducing pleasure. Jesus, who Jesus is, and what he did while he was here. And Mark calls the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God. So Jesus is the Greek transliteration of the Hebrew word Joshua. It means Yahweh is salvation. Or again, it means God saves. Jesus is a human word, a human name, and it reveals the reason Jesus came into the world. He came into the world to save lost sinners. That's what it says in Matthew 1:21, Luke 19, verse 10. So the name Jesus declares his person. He's called Christ, and that identifies with the Jewish Messiah, the anointed one. And so the name Christ declares his position. Jesus is pictured as the one who will take up this position to deliver his people from their enemies. And then Mark raises the stakes and he calls Jesus the Christ, the Son of God. So he's making us know in very clear terms that he's writing about a man who is no ordinary man. He's writing about a man who is God in the flesh, if you want to tie this up with John chapter 1. The name Son of God declares his power, and it marks a moment of divine intervention. Something amazing has happened, and I, Mark, am bearing witness to it. So, 4 very simple, very important truths. He is truly human. He has a human name, Jesus. He is divine. He's the promised Messiah. He is Son of God. He is unique. It's not either or, and it's not a mixture. It is both and, humanity and deity in one, meekness and majesty. And last, he is the true source of good news. Jesus alone is the source of salvation. The other gospel writers start to negotiate terms and widen the parameters of how we understand that, but Mark tells it straight. This is the beginning of the good news. It is a person, but the person is not quite human, or not only human, and the mystery of that is left in abeyance. This is the headline, and all that the headlines do is it invites you to read the article. He's not arguing in headlines, he's making his banner headline, and now he's going to prove his case. And so as we start to think of the conversations of Jesus Christ, it's important to have those 4 parameters or filters in operation. It's like, I don't know if you're aware of this, when you go to the optician and they have these little kind of goggle things and they slide filters in to see to enable your vision. So this is what's happening here. Mark has given his headline, and now he's put these filters in so that we understand that what comes next is going to enable the exposition of this truly unique set of circumstances. Here's filter 1, the human; filter 2, the Messiah; filter 3, the God man; filter 4, the source of good news. Okay, let's pause there and we'll come back to this in the next session. And I'm going to, in the notes, supply some discussion material for this little point here. Okay. God bless.